Okay, this is a fresh writing pad. Okay, there's nothing on it there, as you can see. There's no cheating, nothing there, nothing. Blank. Completely blank writing pad. Okay, so this is where I'm going to start the song process. Okay, we'll throw it over there. Okay, so I've been awake the whole night, writing ideas. The lines come in time, but they won't come that fast, you know. Really, you'll have to think about a lot of things and consider it. But I get something there after maybe a few hours. Whether I accept it or not is going to be something different. Okay, so that's what I come up with, and after a few hours. But I think about changing this maybe later on. Self-doubt, blah blah blah. I write down rhyming words beside it that would make sense with the lines. Okay, and as you can see, I'm altering the writing as I go, and I use that as a draft to take that one off and restart again. Some time has passed since I did this, so I put a scribble on the page there just to show that I'm not needing this anymore. But doesn't mean I can't refer back to it. So that line is alright, this line here, that line there. And I had to speed up the video because it takes a long time to come up with lines that make sense. So continue here now, and so on. I'll mark out the lines here, which is rhyming, and which lines are better, basically. So that's one line. I got some success with that. Another idea, but slipped away. Okay, that's alright. So I might use that, and I write this line here, see what rhymes with that, and so on. And I write another line here, just below it. It's alright. It's getting late as well, so yeah. So here we go. After some hours and awake all night, this is what I was able to come up with so far. Only these 4 lines, but this is what it takes. This has so far been a quick process for me anyway. So I got to start, and momentum at some point is going to start building. So it's alright. It's fair enough. I could work with that. Okay, so I'm going to have myself a refreshment here and get back to the drawing board, looks like, and start to do more thinking on those lines. It's lasting at night. I do need to rest myself here, okay, so I rested, yeah. So I head to bed. Following day, I'm back to square one again almost, and I didn't progress much. I put hours into this, and this is as far as I got so far. Okay, frame, film clip, and this clip is the second clip for the song. Okay, for the production. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna write it. We're gonna. Okay, so this is what I got so far. I had to write a few things here. So this is, I'm not brainstorming so much. It's difficult to do that. I think it's overrated, brainstorming. So I just try it and see what I can come up with, and so on, and write the next line, and see what comes out here, you know. So here we go. Okay, and I write verse 1, verse 2, and pre-chorus here. Okay, I think at this point I may need to grab myself a guitar, right? So that's, I'm content with that. Not happy, but I'm content. So I'll grab myself a guitar. This will release more of the stuff for me, more words, more lyrics, and see what comes, and play the music and try capture the feel of the words, and then repeat it back in a translation from music to the words, from words to the music, and so on. Okay. So at this point I get humming and strumming. That's what I do, that's what I call it, humming and strumming, and until something breaks or something gives or something happens. Okay, you got to keep it up for a good bit of time. Something may come sooner rather than later, or something. Most things come later rather than sooner. Something like that. So we got some sort of structure there. Okay, let's figure out what we could do from here. Right. So we have these verses and that riff. Okay. So we have these verses here. Okay. And okay, and as you can see here, okay. However, I did forget one thing. I forgot one thing here. Okay, we forgot to put the date and the time to when we started writing this song. Over here, let's put a date on this. Okay, so it's important to put the date here at this point. Okay. And the date is gonna copyright it for you. So you time stamp it is what you're gonna do. You have to do that. Okay, so do it. Still the same song. We started that. Okay, that's good there. Okay, and we go back to the guitar. Okay. Well, I keep going with it and hope for the best. I will try to get something and keep going with it. Okay? Spark. Okay, so I'm just going to let you know that I am dyslexic. Okay, and that's I get a lot of blocks, so it's hard for me to get things done. Okay, it takes a bit longer for me to get things done. Okay, so just thought I'd mention that. So never mind the writing, I know it's bad and all that, so I keep going, rubbing things out, lines out. The reason why I rub lines out is because I'm using a pencil. I can do that, you know, because I'm dyslexic. I use a pencil so I can rub stuff out, and so on. Here we go. Okay, that's something else. The drafts. These are the drafts. What we have here. So take a look at these drafts here. So I compare the lines with the drafts, with the first lines I started with the most recent lines, just to check and see what happens here. Make sure everything is all right. So I write on another couple of lines here. More ideas come to me, so I write that in there. Write them in, and I don't think it's working, so I end up scrubbing it out and restart everything again. Just, you know, remember dating it, putting the date on the top of the page. I don't think you realise how important it is. What songwriters do, some musicians do, but this is really important to do that. So get the time and the date on that, timestamp it, in other words. Here's what I'm going to put. Okay. They hear no sound. So watch here as I alter the lines, and I compare drafts and alter the lines. So I compare here and so on. So I need some alterations here to these lines. Some of them are not strong enough, some of them are quite weak. Anyway, we continue. Right, time to get the guitar. Right. Now that I wrote those new lines, I am trying to figure out a way to translate them into music. What am I feeling, and what am I trying to say, and what am I feeling? I'm not forgetting the chords. I forgot the chords. I forgot the chords. This happens. If you need to write them down, you need to put them down on paper. I'm not forgetting them. I forgot the chords. I forgot the structure. I forgot everything. I should have jotted them down. So the idea was there before. Yeah. So I've got this here. It's a recording device made by Olympus, and I'm going to record the guitar on that, the structure. Okay, so while it's recording, you say the chords. You have to mention what chords you played. So you start off with let's see, the C, D. So we're trying to work out a structure here, and takes a while. A lot of humming and hawing and, you know, bollocksing things up and trying to make things right, and it takes a long time, you know. So I'll stick with it. See what comes out. Pre-chorus. Okay. So I picked the an E, and then G. Come over here. Okay, so I'll take a look at what we've did so far. Okay, so we point the camera here at the page, and here's what we got. Into, okay. Let's come over here. Okay, into, okay, into. Sorry now, because a moment. Okay, and here, right there on that line, okay, this is the second verse. And so I'm making an alteration right here, okay, another alteration in a word just here. I think that completes that sentence. I will not make it alone, okay? I will. So another sentence has come, and I fill it in there, and that's good. I'm running off momentum. And so on. And so on, right? That's a bit of tension there, okay? We have this contrast, so we have this here, right? E minor, and sing the. So once again, I get stuck, and I don't know what to do from here onwards. So, but I continue. I have to break that new ground. So I refer back to my drafts. So I pick them up and take a look and see the older stuff that are written previously, the day before, and start comparing notes and stuff like that. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Okay, now, so I'm going to adjust this for a moment. Okay, that's our work here, right? That's what we did so far, all of this, all right? And that's good. We got this far so far in the songwriting. Okay, we got all of this here done. Okay, now, so I'm going to say something to you, okay? There's the verses and so on, and there's the pre-chorus, chorus, and the third verse. Now, we have 2 verses. That's long enough for someone to wait for a chorus. We have a pre-chorus, a build-up to the chorus. Okay, and what happens here is when the chorus is finished, we have another music break, or lyric break, a music break. A lyric break is what we have here between each gap, each free space on the page, on the paper. So now that we're here on this is like 1, 2, this is the third verse. This here is the third verse. We're going to bring back in the chorus rather than write a 4th verse, because we don't want the people to get bored. We don't want anybody getting bored because you've done 2 verses already. So you want to keep the excitement. You got to keep that going, okay? You have to keep up the momentum now. So the song is now hyped up. You've gone into the 3rd verse. You want to maintain that. So this time you want to run off momentum. So now that we've written this verse, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back into the pre-chorus, just with one verse after the chorus, instead of doing a 2nd verse after the chorus. You know, you don't have to match 2 verses and then do the chorus and then another 2 verses. So we're going to do 1 verse back into the pre-chorus, okay? You don't have to do the same words as you did in the first pre-chorus. You can change the words if you want, as long as they suit the song, okay? So let's put that in there, right? So, and we write here. And let's go ahead and do this, okay? Zoom, let's sharpen that there for a moment, okay? I hope you can see that, okay? So that's the new lines we just wrote. That's the 2nd pre-chorus, okay? And we're going to finish off that pre-chorus, finish off writing the lines, because we need maybe 4 lines, because it's in common time, and so on, and so on. The only thing I'm losing is the only thing I miss. So the only thing. So here, as you can see, my dyslexia, you know, it starts kicking in a bit here. So this is why it takes a long time for me to jot something down. So let's take a look and keep going with this.
Lose is the only thing I miss. Okay, sorry now, this dyslexia, you know, miss. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we can go straight in to the chorus. Okay, we can go straight in there with the chorus. Okay, and so on, and that's our chorus right here. Okay, I'm sorry, hold on a moment, I'm gonna grab something.
So here I grab a highlighter to highlight the chorus.
Sorry now about that, because I'm dyslexic, I usually highlight here. Okay, that's the chorus, okay? That's the chorus, okay? That's the chorus there. So we're going to keep, that's a good chorus, we're going to keep it, okay? So we highlight it there. We know where the chorus is, and everything else is sort of planned. The pre-chorus, you don't have to scribble it in. You just draw like a frame around it, okay? And so on. So now we know that's the pre-chorus and that's the chorus. All right, so they're separate from the verses. They're separate, so I'll zoom out there for a moment, as you can see it there, okay? I don't know if you can see that. Okay, and so there you have it, okay, something like that anyway. And we have our pre-chorus, we have a verse, pre-chorus. We mark out our pre-chorus once again in a frame with a highlighter. If you don't have a highlighter, just draw it in pencil or pen. So if you're using pen, draw it in pencil. If you're using a pencil, draw it in pen. Okay, pre-chorus. and we're repeating that. It's pretty much the same. The only difference is I did change the odd word. You read it there, and so on. And if you look here, it's changed a little bit. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly the same and repeating the lines. You don't have to do that. People get it. You shouldn't be, it's not right to treat people that stupid. Move on with the song. Move on. People will get what you're saying. And it spices it up a little bit when you change the words. Okay, now we have that. Go in for. So we need the chorus now. So that's page 1. Just before that, I'm going to show you something here. Zoom right in there. Now that you have 2 pages, really you should mark them out so you know there was always 2 pages with that. Okay, 1 out of 1. Sorry, dyslexic again. This the dyslexia. That's 1 out of 1. Okay, 1 out of 1. Okay, that's 1 out of 1 page. Oh, sorry, 1 out of 2, isn't it? That's 1 out of 2. Okay, 1 page out of 2 pages. I make a lot of mistakes. It usually costs me a lot of time during the songwriting process. Okay, that's 1 out of 2 pages. Okay, so that's 1 page out of 2. Okay, here we go. 1 out of 2, as you can see it there. You can see that. Let's sharpen that a little. Okay, 1 out of 2 pages. Okay, now we rip that off, and we're going to start with, okay, a blank canvas. Next thing we're going to do now we have that done. We're going to, the last page was the pre-chorus. We're going to move on to the chorus now.
So at this point I timestamp it again, okay? Just the second page, so I timestamp it and put in another chorus followed by an outro verse at this point. Okay, don't want to make the song too long either. It gets boring if they're not interested, you lose interest. They lose interest.
Okay, we're back now. So we're on the first chorus there, and we're going to just take a look at it for a moment, as you can see right there. Okay, I never took the spark. I poured my soul to use. I write these bloody songs. What more can I do? Okay, the second chorus in our case is you've never took the spark. I poured my soul to use. To write these bloody words, okay, and what more can I do? Okay, time to work out the outro. Let's see what we could do here. Okay, so like I said, we need the outro. Okay, so we're going to try this. Okay, so let me see this here now for a moment, and so I need the outro. So zoom in there, take that out there a bit, and take you down. Okay, just to keep an eye on me, so I won't be cheating. So you think that I won't be cheating? Okay, let me zoom, we sharpen that image. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do for our outro. So here's what we've explained so far, right? The idea of writing a song. Right, the idea of writing a song. And zoom out there again. Okay, it's already zoom out. Okay, so we've explained the idea of writing a song and what it takes, and the song, it doesn't seem to be catching on with people, and this is what the song is about. It's not catching on with people and stuff like that, and so I poured my soul to use. So the person put everything, well, not everything, the person put a lot into the words, into the songwriting process. And to write these bloody songs, right? What more can I do? So the person seems like they tried before and they're not getting anywhere. So the people hear no sound, as it says in the lyric here. Another good musician taken to the ground. Okay, fill in that G there because of dyslexia. To please the fucking crowd. Okay, right. Then it goes back. I play it safe. I don't take no risk. The only thing I lose is the only thing I miss. Goes into the chorus. Use never took the spark. I poured my soul to use to write these bloody words. What more can I do? Okay, so the person is cracking up and giving up, and they're a good musician and they're a good whatever, right? And so in a way it relates to myself in a way, in little bits and pieces here and there throughout the song. Okay. Now so I have the explosion of emotions. Okay, this is the outro. Okay, so the explosion of emotions. The explosion.
So at this point I got a new line for the outro verse. This would be the final verse. So I got a new line, so there I am thinking, trying to come up with what suits that new line and so on. And it's difficult, but that's alright. You got to push yourself more and more and more. There's going to be an awful lot of setbacks. I'm telling you that it only gets harder, and then it gets easier, then harder and easier.
Okay, there we go. And that's what I wrote there, as you can see, right? Just sharpened our emphasis there. Okay, so, and that's that piece there, okay? As you can make it out there. That's our chorus right there. That second chorus. This here is the explosion of emotions. Try to make it right. It doesn't really suit it. Try to make it right. I'm gonna have to think about this. Try to make it right. No, hold on. I got an idea. Right here. Okay. I'll have to rub out this whole line again. Instead of going onto a new page. That's a good thing, writing a pencil. You can rub it out instead of going to a new page and wasting more paper and all that and resources. So right here, so we are going to write here, okay? We are going to write here. Just, is it? I think maybe just to make it right, okay? Let's hope the guitar parts fit that, okay? Otherwise we'll have to change that again, okay? So let me see if you can see that, okay? Right there, okay? Okay, so that's our second chorus, the explosion of emotions, just to make it right. We need to calm it down, or we need to bring her up, or we need to keep it the same. So it's hyped up at the moment because we just done the chorus here. So maybe we keep the tension up. I don't know. Writing all the night. Yep, I've got them there. Yeah, with with no end and in sight. Correct. Yep, you got it. You probably guessed that. Simple outline. Well, it probably works, you know. So the explosion of emotions, just to make it right. Writing all the night with no end in sight. It's a bit pathetic. It is a bit pathetic because it rhymes a lot. And I don't like that. Well, maybe I think it's pathetic and other people don't, because people get different things from the writing. So, okay, so I may quit. I may quit. Let me see now. I may quit. I may quit it. No, I'm gonna have to think about this. Right, more thinking, more work. So now that I'm stuck at a point in the songwriting, so and that line there, as you can see, you know, and this line that we put there earlier, these couple of lines here, right? So at this point, if you get stuck like that, just take up the guitar and structure it with the guitar, okay? And the guitar is going to start filling in gaps, and it will suggest words and lines, okay? Grab this, okay? And we get our first, so the second chorus. And then it was the E, wasn't it? The E. And we move on to the second chorus. I think we should change the riff for the outro. Just change it, but keep it sort of upbeat and heavyish, to make it end, to show that you're not going to quit writing. You're not going to quit being a musician. You're not going to end it, and just to send that message out. Okay, so. Or we could finger pick it and just go on the end after a finger pick, just to boom, get like a punch in there. So let me see what works here. A couple of chords. So what is it saying to you? What is the words saying to you? Well, the explosion of emotions, just to make it right. So the explosion of emotions, but still see the light. I may just quit, but still see the light. Okay. Now, so you see how the guitar helps? It does help. You need something, a piano or something, keyboard or. Okay, so I may just quit, but still see the light. Let's go. Zoom in there, okay. That's where that belongs in there. I may just. Okay, rub that out. I may just quit. I may just quit. And what was that line again? Oh my God. But still see. But still see.
So as you can hear, dyslexia does affect me. But I go on with this anyway. So
right.
Yeah.
That's it. We finished. We got it done. We have it done. Okay, that's it. That's a song. Okay, outro. Right, this here. Outro. Okay, that's good. We have it. Okay. Now we have this, and we have page 2. Okay, we've got them all marked, so there we go. Okay, and that's it. We wrote a song, and it's taken, how many hours did that take? My God. I started this last night. So we kept the records, we kept these files. So according to these drafts, here, okay, let me zoom in for you. We started this process last night, so I started it last night, and the 24th of April 2026, 9:30. So in less than 24 hours we managed to write a song, okay, and it's not brilliant, but you know, it's something. And it's good enough to get a start. It's about songwriting. That's what the song is about, right? So now we've got that. We've got it. All right. That's our song. This is it. Right. Right. The next part we need to go to. We need to go and maybe start recording this. Okay. So let's go over here to the computers and lock them on. Let's go. Okay, so let's come over here. Let's cancel here because we're going to start recording this now. Okay, and there's the drum set and so on. It's, you know, okay. So let's turn on all of this equipment here. Okay, so but it doesn't matter. Okay, need to turn on the sound card. And that's the sound card right here. That's the sound card, as you can see it right there. Okay. Okay, very good. So we're going to record the song, okay? So we need to update the computers, make sure everything is up to date, make sure all the software is right and it's all working well just before we record and so on. So we've got the basics. We have a guitar. We've got the guitar. We got the guitar. Some of the guitar parts worked out. Just the basics. We have their lyrics. They still may change, so please be open-minded about that. You may still have to change. The recording is difficult because sometimes if you get to leave gaps, sometimes the beat, you lose sight of where the one is on the beat and so on, and you put in, the music sometimes starts one bar before it's supposed to start or one bar later, half a bar or something like that. So we've figured it out. Okay, so just let's get this underway. All right, so here we go.